picture the scene. It's 1983 and 16-year-old Mainmeister is sat in his bedroom wishing he had money to get a computer. Now, for the last, I don't know, 4 years, he absolutely craved an Atari 2600, but that was never going to happen. He was never going to get one. Well, not until fairly recently, but that's another story. Yeah, his mum and dad quite simply told him, we can't afford it, so stop asking. So, for the intervening years, 16-year-old Mainmeister made do with his bright orange Binatone, which was essentially Pong with a tennis game, a squash game and a football game, and to be perfectly blunt with you, it was shite. I mean, it kind of kept your interest for about 2 or 3 minutes, but unless you had a friend that wanted to come over and play, you were absolutely stuck playing squash practice, and it was as dull as it sounds. Anyway, yeah, October 1983, Mainmeister's mum and dad says, right, listen son, we're going to get you a computer. Yes, I thought. Now, a few months prior to that, my mum had bought me, it was a magazine called the Home Computer Course, and in the centre of that magazine, it had about, I don't know, 30 computers. All different types of computers, from the Dragon 32 to the Auric to the Commodore 64 to some little portable Epson thing. There was everything. So yeah, at that point I already knew what computer I wanted. Well, that's not technically true. I did want the Commodore 64, but I was never going to get it. It was way too expensive. So the day came, my mum and dad says, right son, we're going to get you this computer. What one would you like? So I'm like, well, I'd really like a Spectrum. So they said, well listen, what to do is we're going to go to Comet, which for any non-UK 56-year-old somethings, Comet was a large electrical outlet, kind of similar to what Curry's is nowadays. But here's the thing, they said, look, it's a surprise. We're going to get your computer, but it's a surprise. So I said, get me a Spectrum please. It's a surprise son. So off they went to Comet, and they came back, and this is what I got. A Texas Instruments home computer. Now, when I asked my mum and dad, why did you buy me that? They says, well, it was slightly cheaper than the Spectrum, but it looks really nice. It's got a lovely metallic finish. It's got a proper keyboard. What's not to like? Anyway, I soon got bored of trying to program basic programs. I mean, I'm not the most technologically advanced person, so I thought I need to get with all the other kids and get myself some computer games. The only other computer games that I attempted to kind of code were type-ins from computer and video games, and for whatever reason they were either way too long and I simply could not be arsed typing them in, or the screenshots looked completely pish, and I thought I'm not going to waste my time typing all this in just to play something that looks as shit as this. So what did I do? I got Computer and Video Games magazine, saw an advert for a game, mail order only. Now I think it was £5.50, it might have been £6, I can't remember. It was 1983 for God's sake. Anyway, it was called Core, and it sounded really exciting. Yeah, so I sent off, it might have been a cheque, I think, possibly. If you don't know what a cheque is, go and ask your granny. Anyway, I sent off a cheque or a postal order, and this game arrived, Core. You had to sort of pilot your spaceship type thing to this Core. So anyway, yeah, that was the first computer game that I ever bought, and after you see it, you'll probably understand why it was the last computer game I ever bought from a Texas. So I've got to say a massive thanks to a channel, a YouTube channel, which I'm going to put a link down below. One of my friends actually saw this game on this guy's video, and he says this guy is playing the game that you've been talking about for years. I mean, I have quite simply never seen this game. The last time I loaded it would have been 1983. So anyway, without much further ado, let's take a wee look and get this thing loaded. Now you just need to bear with me, as it's not as simple as plugging a cartridge into a console and switching on. Hell no, it's 1983 and you've got to do stuff. So right, it's basic. Now what I need to do is I need to mount the disc, and what was it called? There we are. And now what I need to do, I think it's all going to be capitals. Call files, and the number 1, and then it does something, whatever that does, and then it's old, I think it's space disk 1 dot core. Now this game did come on tape, but my mate has very kindly managed to convert it to run on as a disc. Now it is actually loading, so just be patient, folks. And then we type run to load it. Now being basic, it's going to be as slow as dog shit. Delightful little tune. There we go. Core by A. Thomas. Sorry, it's not called Core, it's called Core. Right, 1983, Christine Computing, 6 Florence Close, Watford in Hertz. Press spacebar to play. No, I think we'll take a look at the instructions first, don't you think? This game is in 3 parts. Part 1, your transport centre off screen is descending, we'll let them off with this spelling mistake, through clouds, birds and planes. Now, I think that's a wrong spelling as well. Hit any of these and the game ends. Press any key to continue. Part 2, navigate the caves and, forgot the space there, caverns. I think that should be caverns. Part 3, this is the 3rd maze part. Pass all 3 cores to reach the core. Use keys S and D to move. Good luck. Press spacebar to play. So there was no such thing as bloody joysticks or anything like that with this game. So let's see if we can get this going. So you need to remember, this is a slight lie, by the way. I actually did play this game a few weeks ago in a live stream, but I wanted to make a video specifically for this game because this was the very first computer game I ever owned. And well, you know what, you can make your own mind up about it, but the hobby of playing computer games has never left me. You know, 40 years on, 45 years on in fact, I'm still playing computer games. So yeah, right, anyway, let's get this, but I can't contain my excitement for this game, so let's try it. There we go, it's setting up the game. It's left and right. How do we move left and right? Oh, hang on, I managed to move. That doesn't work. Right, there we go. Press spacebar to play again. Right, that's not working. That's not working. That's not working. That's not working either. How the hell do you move? got it. S&D it is. So yeah, the aim of the game is quite simply to navigate your way through the birds. Now my memory has been playing tricks on me, because anytime I recollected this game to anybody, I always thought it was actually the graphics were made of letters of the alphabet, but no, they are actually proper hand-drawn graphics, albeit completely shit, as you can see. I was going to go for the wee gap there, I don't know if I can get through there. Yeah, so I mean, you can obviously appreciate the crushing disappointment when I got this. All the other cool kids were playing Space Invaders and Pac-Man and Asteroids on their Atari 2600, and I had this dog shit to play. Oh, bollocks. Can I get through there? Oh, I certainly can. Oh, I left it too late. Balls. Yeah, I mean, quite literally must have taken him weeks and weeks to program the graphics for this thing. I mean, they're just utterly outstanding. Here's the sad thing is, I would virtually guarantee that 99% of type-in games were better than this horse shit. Now, I said I did play this a few weeks ago, and I know that you've got to go this way. Now I can't remember where I'm going. That'll be the 3D part then, folks. Now this is the thing. Once this game just completely turned me off the Texas, I thought, I've got to get rid of this. It is complete bollocks. It's a completely incapable machine, and that's what I thought. And I held that viewpoint for, oh, I don't know, probably best part of 30 years. Until, I don't know, probably about maybe, well in fact more than that, probably, I reckon probably 35 years. I'm going to need to concentrate here. Yeah, it was probably only in the last few years that I started I'm going to concentrate. Ow, balls. Yeah, I found out in the last, I don't know, 3-4 years that the Texas was actually quite a capable little machine. So I do feel rather cheated. You know, thanks to this game, it single-handedly put me off the Texas. It gave me a bad impression, which, you know, I realised through the fullness of time that it was completely undeserved. I mean, there is really nothing. There is nothing positive to say about this game. The colour is abysmal. Colour's abysmal. Scrolling is just, well, let's just leave it at that. The least we say about the scrolling, the better, I think. Oh, bollocks. Right, one last go. I'm thinking that might well be the end. Right, we need to kind of keep to the left. Utterly unfair, as you can see. It's a memory game. I don't know why I went that way, I've just made it more difficult for myself. With the god awful scrolling in this game, you could actually, I think you would end up having a bloody seizure playing it for any length of time. Right, we want to try and I think I'll stick going this way, but we need to try and get across to the side if we can. Ow! Fuck! Ah! Right, I think I'll have one more go and that's quite enough. this bit here, you've got to get right across, because the other ones are all dead ends. Oh, fuck. Right, listen, that is enough of that. So anyway, yeah, this was the impression I took away, that, you know, the Texas, this was all it could possibly do. What I found out just a few years ago, it could actually do stuff like I mean, how cool is that? Seriously. If I'd known back in '93 that my Texas could do stuff like this, I would have probably held on to it. But thanks to Christine Software and the absolute hideous core, I sold it after only owning the single game. But fortunately, I did come to realise that not every computer was like a Texas, and I moved on to the Commodore 64. And yeah, the rest, as they say, is history. So anyway, folks, thank you for joining me on that journey of hell. As always, thank you very much for watching.